and together we are the hosts of the Hot Wife, Hot Life show, where we celebrate love, life, and marriage. Ladies, let them know you're here with me.
Hey, everybody. Monday,
That's right.
Dalmatian.
Eight Fox in the house.
Yes, and for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we want to say a huge thank
Yes,
you for
thank
tuning
you.
in and taking your time out this evening to spend with us. So, if you have not already, please share this broadcast with your family and your friends because this broadcast is about to be popping.
Amen.
Tonight, we have
Amen.
a special guest on the line coming to us from the VA. She is the co founder of Behind Closed Doors and the founder of Behind Closed Doors Uncut. I'm not going to keep you in suspense because I want her to tell you more about that. But please help me welcome to the Hot Life Ambassador. I have on the line Miss Monica G. Brown.
Hello, hello, everyone. Hey, ladies. I'm glad to be able to share this podium or this platform with the new AKAs, A Fox, A Rich, and A Love. All right, AKA. So I appreciate it. Monica G. Brown. I've been married for 25 years. Um,
Amen.
and so, still learning as I'm going. Yes, I'm the co-founder of Behind Closed Doors that originated in Atlanta, Georgia, with my co-producer of actually that kind of ministry, Alexandria Stafford. And then a spinoff from that because Behind Closed Doors is a women's ministry. It actually talks about, it gives an outlet for women to actually be who they really are behind closed doors. A lot of times we have to put on a mask when we go out, whether we're in the workplace, the, church place, and even sometimes even in our home place, we really can't be in that moment who we want to be because we as women have to put on so many different hats. And so Behind Closed Doors gives women an outlet to actually be who they are, talk about whatever issues that they are faced with day to day, not only as a woman, but as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, a daughter. And then a spinoff from that was Behind Closed Doors Uncut that actually encompassed everybody, men, women, to actually talk about things that definitely affect us in our own community, but also in our world. And so that's what Uncut was actually put in place so that you can actually have an open dialogue about things you normally wouldn't have a dialogue about. So definitely with this new venture, Hot Life, Hot Wife, and just want to, again, just open some dialogue because I'm an advocate for marriages. And I know that marriages have been on an attack for a long time, especially in the Black community. But from what I can see in all communities, at this point, it is an endangered species. So this year, my focus, my prayer is that if I am able to touch one couple and get them to reconsider and rededicate themselves to their marriage and to their families, that is my goal and my focus for this year.
Amen.
So thank you for opening up this platform for me.
All right.
Yes, thank you so much, Monica. That is amazing. Number one, I want to thank you for being our Hot Wife, Hot Life ambassador in
Yes,
Virginia.
yes.
You represent it very well. We thank you so much for that. It is so crucial and important to really hone in on marriage and how
Mm-hmm.
significant it is because it does affect the family. That is the foundation. And as we continue moving forward in this movement, because it is a huge movement, I am definitely excited and love what you are doing. I thank you so much for that.
Okay, absolutely.
So, with that being said, our topic for tonight is how do we make a marriage last? So we're talking about the importance of marriage and building the family. But let me tell you, I don't care what nobody say. I'm about to keep it 100 with everybody. It is hard dang work.
Oh,
Lie
boy.
if you want to.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
it is
Would you
not.
say it's hard all the time, or would you say it's hard in the beginning?
Listen, it depends on who you're married to, okay? I feel like it's work, period. Just period.
Okay, it's
You're
work.
gonna
It's work
have to
every
put,
day.
it is.
It's
You're gonna have to
work
put work
every
in there.
day. Yeah.
It's
It does.
work every
I don't
day.
think it depends on who you're married to. I think it's work every day. If you're able to devote 8 hours or more to getting a paycheck,
Yes.
it takes that much more to be able to pour into someone that is connected to you in a covenant.
Amen.
So ain't no time off, ain't no PTO, ain't no paid vacation. You
better
got
say
to
it
work
now.
this thing every day. You
Yes.
have to nurture it. You have, just like you get up in the morning, you wash. Sometimes you just got to hit more than important spots. You got to take care of that thing.
That's right.
And that's exactly what marriage is. And I think sometimes we try to skip over
Yes.
and we don't want to be real and tell people what the real expectation is of being married. It's not
think-
for everybody.
I think, Monica, for me, I think the issue that I have is the word hard. I think that's the word.
Okay.
I believe it's work. Please, it's work all day,
Uh-huh.
every day. It's just like your children. You know, it's work every day, all day. But I think the word that
Okay.
gets me, and maybe that's why I go back and forth with it a little bit, is hard. You see what I'm saying? Hard work.
I got you.
I don't think it
I got
has
you.
to be hard. I don't think it has to be difficult. You know, it doesn't have to be a struggle. That's why I said maybe in the beginning, when you working out the kinks, maybe them first 5 to 7 years. But I mean, 25 years, 15 years.
I can't say.
don't
I
know.
can't
Yeah, because
say.
I'm
I
about to
think
say
I,
that's. I agree. I
Go
don't know
ahead.
that I can say that either.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Monica. on
because
that.
again, we all grow.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
we
yeah.
are constantly growing. Life throws you different circumstances and situations
Absolutely.
that yesterday you will be no longer the same person.
That's
Amen.
right.
So therefore, when you say, okay, don't set a false expectation and say, you know what, and that's what we get wrapped up into it. Hey, that first year is going to be a hard year.
That's true. You're right.
Absolutely not,
Right.
because the first year definitely could be a fun year.
That's
Right.
true.
We ain't really
Right.
got into what our hopes, dreams,
Right.
and goals are.
That's
We
right.
haven't gotten into, okay, nan's the kids. Okay, we haven't gotten into blended families and baby mama
Right.
having a problem.
Right.
So therefore, is it hard work? Absolutely. I'm not going to sell you a dream. But the thing about it is rewarding work.
Amen.
Because
Gotcha.
anything that is hard is worth having. If it come easy, it ain't real.
Amen.
Okay, so see,
Amen.
I like the way you put that. So you see what I'm saying? You broke that down.
Yeah.
You broke that down. So I like that. Because I think
Yeah.
maybe we may, and this just may be me, but
Mhm.
we want to keep it real always. We want to keep it 100 always. But at the same time, I don't want to scare potential people who looking to get married, because we know a lot of ladies looking to get married and be like, it's hard work all the time. They be like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? So making that hard work
But see,
makes sense.
I
though.
think the
I like
same
the way
thing.
you did
I
it.
think that's the difficulty of it. So every woman that wants to get married has been in a relationship
Right.
that is already hard work for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay? Whether she going with dude and she waiting for him to pop the question, she been waiting 5, 6,
Ugh.
8,
Ugh.
10 years. It's been hard work.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing about that been easy. So why do you think now that he
Researching this topic over the week, I took an article from Men's Health, right? I always like to get a male
Okay.
perspective just to see what they think. And they said that there were 8 simple ways to make your marriage last. And I would love for us to delve into them. So the first thing that it talked about was, number 1, make it your top priority. Your marriage has to be your top priority over work, over, family. Your marriage is first. What do you guys, want to expound on with that particular comment?
I agree. I think I've read that as well. Like, over your marriage is first, then your kids, then your job, then your, And I think that sometimes we do those things out of order. I think we've talked about this before on this show about balance and the importance of balance in your life and how that's going to determine how the stressors come, how you handle the stressors. And a lot of people put work first, or a lot of women put kids over their husband. I think I read a lot of articles, a lot of people on Facebook asking, should you feed your kids first? Should you feed your husband first? Should you do
Yeah, I got that question.
Did you get that? Yeah.
Yes,
So it's a lot of women who
said
believe.
me.
Oh, you feed you first.
I said I'm eating first, then y'all get what's left. I'm working
Oh my
hard.
goodness. And so, so that's a good. I like that. That's a good point. Good point.
What do you have to say, A Love?
Well, you know what? I think that it's extremely important in terms of putting your spouse first. And I think sometimes as women, especially when kids get involved, the maternal instinct kicks in, and you really start thinking about, the kids didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you're looking out and taking care of them and putting them first. But in the scope of things, I think that we really should take the time to realize that with a spouse, if the two of you are on the same accord, they're always going to be first.
Amen.
Meaning that when you're on the same accord, then you make those decisions. So your spouse, whether you feed the children first or you feed him first, you've already got that understanding to where he knows that he's not being pushed to the side or neglected or anything just because you choose to take the children or feed them first or do something with them or whatever. You still have that understanding because biblically when you are married, the two become one.
Amen.
So at that point in time, even though you still have a separate identity and you still have different things that you like and he has things that he likes, if you're on the same accord, that means that you're working towards the same goals. You all have a plan to where you have a 5-year, 10-year, whatever your life goals are, because you have to understand that when the kids get grown, they go on about their life. So if you've made your whole existence about your children during that time period, then what happens when you're empty nester?
Well, a lot of times that's when people divorce.
Exactly.
Because
they don't have anything.
Who are you? I don't even recognize you. Who is this man or this woman I've been married to?
You didn't take the time to nurture, your spouse during the time that the children were growing up. Because at the end of the day, you still have to understand that it's the two of you making a life together, and the children are coming in, and work is coming in, and careers and different things you want to do, travel and all those things. You have personal goals, but you should also have a goal that you do together. And it's really important to make sure that your spouse is the first person that you work with in order to make that happen.
And actually, you bring up a good point, because with that being said, that is part of what I would define as hard. Because remember, we're talking and we're being transparent about who we are.
Right.
I wasn't raised that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, it took time to learn about nurturing a husband and different things like that. I was raised by a strong single black woman.
Right.
Okay, we ain't have time to cry, do nothing.
Right.
Get up, get your behind. If something fall, you get right back up, make it happen. I didn't have a lot of, let me hug you and just, take this time to cry kind of thing. So for me, the nurturing part of having to nurture my husband was like, dude, you a grown man. Get it together. Do what you got to do. Be tough. Cry a little bit and then go on about your business. That's all I knew. So when you get into this marriage thing, you have to learn that you do have to be that way. You do have to learn how to listen to what hurts them and what's bothering them, and take the time to hug them and spend time with them. And if you're not used to that not being done, it's a very difficult task to learn in a marriage. I want to help all women out there that have that mentality.
Even if it's a difficult task, because see, I come from we're in a different age now. It's a different time, with the millenniums and this type of thing. I was raised where men were, I hate to say it, they're men. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to the man taking charge of everything. You know what I'm saying? He made sure the car ran. He made sure the garbage was out. Those are things that women in my house didn't do. If it's a man up in here, he did those things. He made sure that, the house is fixed or what, things that we just take for granted nowadays. And so there are a lot of single women. And even though my mother was divorced, or I was raised by a lot of strong women, I still knew what the roles of a man was. Does that make sense? And so it makes it very hard for me to take less. So I expect my man to do certain things. And when they don't, then I'm looking at them like, What's
Right.
wrong with you? You ain't know,
Right.
dude. Get it together. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
the same thing that you're saying is that we have to know that even though it doesn't look like what we think it should look like, doesn't
Mhm.
mean it's wrong. It's just different, and we
Exactly.
have to learn how to adjust in that difference.
Yeah, you
And
do.
so instead of calling him a wuss or a punk or whatever, because some men just not they don't have it or they didn't get it the way that I got it.
Well, and to be honest with you,
Or
I think all people, period, men and women, should have a certain level. When you get married, there's an intimacy that is supposed to take place there. So for me, we all should want that. If I'm hurt, I want to be able to intimately go to you and hug you and want to be nurtured and taken care of. So I
But
had to
if you,
learn.
but if you've never seen that and all your image of that is TV, say for instance,
Hmm.
or outside forces that teaches you that something is wrong with that. Like something is wrong for a man to want to be nurtured and hugged and he's having a moment. You're not supposed to have a moment. You're supposed to
okay,
man up. But go
but
ahead,
this is
Go
I
ahead, Monique.
this is what I was going to say. This is how why marriages are endangered species because again, we go to what looks and what appears.
Right.
Hmm.
Neither one of us have said, but what do I need?
That's
Okay.
right.
What I mean by that is this. You may need somebody to take your trash out. You may need somebody to fix the house. You may need somebody to pay the bills.
Right.
You may need somebody to lead you. I may not need none of that. I need somebody to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I come home, I want to be able to talk to you. I need somebody that's going to vibe with me. I don't want to hear about you taking out the trash and you change the light bulb. I want you to ask me, baby, how is
How
your
was your
day?
day?
I
Right.
want you to ask me and run my bath water.
Right.
I may can pay all the bills in the house. But what I'm saying is I need somebody that's just going to be a companion to me. What
Amen.
happens is I will listen to you and say, yeah, I need that too. But I don't need that. We have lost a connection with a spouse. We, again, remember we were saying when you use the word hard, it makes it negative. Well, on the other hand, let's listen to what a man may feel. Okay, all she need me to do is to pay the bills, make sure that ain't nothing around here broke,
Mm-hmm.
and take out the trash. Okay, I do that.
Hmm.
I've done what you asked me. These was your minimum requirements,
Right.
and I signed up, and you gave me the job. I'm hired. Now you mad 5 years later
Right.
because you're not dating me, and you're not romantic,
Right.
and you're not, baby.
You're not
You
listening to
asked me
me.
to pay the bills.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
didn't pay
Yes,
that.
indeed.
I took off the trash.
Right.
What more do
Okay.
you want?
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we get lost in what it's supposed to look like
I agree.
That's good.
and what we need.
I agree.
If I am dying and I'm on life support and I need a new kidney, and you tell me, okay, well, we got a new heart, it doesn't matter. I'm still dying because what you're bringing me, I don't need.
Exactly. It don't
That's
go. I love that,
beautiful.
Monique. I love it, and and what. I'm sorry, Monica. I apologize,
Uh-huh.
Monica. And we're
Girl,
gonna
you
take a
good.
break. We're
You
gonna
know, I've
come
been
back.
called much worse than Monique.
Listen, Monica.
You know, this is a Christian show, but I will take Monique any day.
Okay.
Yeah, go with it.
And I wanna come back to that because what I want to say to that is a lot of times we don't know what our needs are, so we can't express that. So let's talk about that when we get back. Hot wife, hot life. We'll be right back.
It's so loud.
It's really not. See, what happened was whatever you started doing, it cut off the first broadcast. So the first broadcast is only like 10 minutes. And then it comes back out. So I don't know how long the second one is, but the people, it should have kicked everybody off because see, mine went like totally blank, like this broadcast has ended. So now it's showing live now.
You have A Fox and A Love with us, and Monica. Did I say it right?
You sure did, Monica G. Brown. That's from the VA to the GA all day. Yes, ma'am. You
I
got
am
it.
the.
It's all day, every day.
So we're talking about wants and needs, wants versus needs, and I think that's going to be another show, A Fox. I'm
Amen.
sorry, because
Amen.
a lot of times I think we don't know what we need, and we don't know how to
I
express
think that's
that.
fair.
And so that's how we get caught up in the matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so like you said, 10
Absolutely.
years down the line, we looking at our mate like, you didn't give me, I need something. And they're saying, I gave you what you asked for. Because men and women communicate differently and we talk differently. And so, like you said, your husband can write you a letter, but you going to talk it out. And so that's, those are things that we have to talk about on this show. And we're going to keep it 100 always, always, always 100.
And
Amen.
while
So,
you're speaking about that,
go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you out, but while you're speaking about that, one thing I think is really important is that as adults, it's extremely hard for us to see past where we are. You know, you're thinking of what you need, and then you deal with people according to how you would want to be done.
Right.
And sometimes, like
Absolutely.
Monica said, if I'm dying and I need a kidney and you bring me a heart, you may feel like, oh, I know a heart is going to make her feel better. No, it's not.
Right.
A kidney is what I need.
Right.
But because we don't tend to look at what the other person needs, we bring them what we think we would want to have.
Right.
You know, so therefore, in like you said with your husband, if he writes you a letter, that's because for him, that's how he communicates better. So for him, in talking to you, he may want you to verbally, to express yourself, you know, through writing something down because it's easier for him to, you know, maybe take the emotion out of it, process it, think about it, you know, whereas for you, you want to be, let's talk it out. Let's deal with it. So I think a lot of times, and that goes into, and I don't know if anybody's ever did the love language quiz, but they speak a lot about that, that you have to know what your person's language is in order to be really effective, you know, in your communication. Because if I want you, like you said, if I want you to show me, not just taking out the trash, I want you to show me by running my bath water, bringing me some flowers or whatever. Some people, all they need is, baby, how was your day? I love you, girl, you look good. Whatever it is, you need to know that is what makes it good for your spouse, even though it may not, you may not think it takes all that for you. Maybe it does for them.
And I mean, I do work with my clients on the love languages. And so, but I think it's just work. Again, we'll go back to it's work. It's daily work and knowing how much to give, how much, you know, what works for both of you. Because it may be, if you need it all day, every day, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, you need it all day, every day. That might be a problem for me to give you that all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find some balance in there. We got to find some compromise in there so we can know how to make both parties feel like it's working.
Right.
So I love that.
Absolutely.
We were talking about ways to make it work, right?
Yes, so 8 simple ways to make it your marriage last, and of course we said make it top priority. Monica, you already hit it on the head too. Reassess your needs. That is definitely what we just discussed. The third thing is play with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in marriage. Okay, so I was telling you guys the very first time we did the show that me and my husband went out to a restaurant. And I just decided to it was a romantic restaurant. I kind of decided to look around and see what everybody was doing romantic-wise, because me and him were over there clowning, goofing off, you know, touchy-feely, and people looking at us like we crazy. So I'm looking around the restaurant, and I tell you, I was really shocked, and I really was kind of saddened because there were clearly couples, you know, at the table. They looking down. They ain't even looking at each other. Right. I mean,
or on their phone.
Right. And nobody was intimate. Then, like I said, they looking at us. We married, kissing and acting crazy. They looking at us like y'all must be newlyweds. No, we've been 20 years this year, but goodness gracious, why is everybody so miserable? First of all, I'm at a good restaurant. That should be happy in and of itself right then and there, okay? But it was just amazing to me how people just exist. They're not living.
Absolutely.
And their marriages are doing the exact same thing. It's dead. I play with my husband. Listen, people get be talking junk about me, I don't care. I'll sex my husband in a minute and don't care who got an issue with it. We love talking to each other. We flirt. We talk nasty. All whatever make us happy. I flirt with him just like this. Oh my God, this is new. This is fresh. You gotta keep it spicy.
Right.
You gotta
You
keep
do.
it fun. To
But
me.
do you know why you do that? It's because you actually like your husband.
Right.
What happens is
that's
we
true.
stop liking each other in
That's
marriages.
good. Yes.
Anybody can love each other. Just think about family members. It's family members you don't even want to deal with. But if anything happened to them, hey, call me. If you need some money, I'll send you some money. But I don't want to go to the movies with you, and I don't want to hang out with you, and I don't want to talk to you every day because it's so taxing. And
Right.
but I love you.
Amen.
People
That's good.
act
That's a
like
great
like
point.
is not like is bigger than love every day of the week,
is.
and I will continue to say that when it comes to a relationship. Because when I
That's good
like
stuff.
you, I want to go out with you. I'm gonna sex you. I'm gonna send you
Yes.
pictures. I'm gonna say,
Yes.
baby, I'm planning this evening for us because I like you. I spend time with you. I enjoy your company. When you stop liking your spouse,
Right.
you are already creating a distance.
Mm.
So you better get back not in love, but in like.
Oh, I
Because
love
like
it.
are best friends. Like is I can tell a joke to you. Like is we can laugh. Like is we can cry together. Like is that we have a
That is so true.
relationship that supersedes if you need anything, call me.
That is so true.
That's good.
That is good.
That's
I
so
love
true.
that. I love that.
And you are so right. There's so many people who do not like each other.
Well, let me
It's
tell
just-
you, almost
Yes.
20,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
You can see, you can ask, how your husband? Face
Okay.
toe up. How your wife? Face toe up. Okay. Right. Did you see the game last night? Yeah, let me tell you about the game. Did you see Empire? Yeah, let me tell you. If you excited more about the game
Right.
and Empire than your wife or your husband, you don't
No.
like them.
Or look, the ones
You
who
like
don't
your
want to go
team
home.
better and your
Monica.
show better than your husband and your
Right.
wife.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
And what is so funny, 20 years ago, I'll never forget when me and my husband, we're kind of opposite of other couples. Their newlywed, was bliss. Ours wasn't. We argued the night of our wedding. We didn't even get together till the following night. But it was so funny. We were going at it one day in a parking lot, and this man said, and we just, going back and forth, arguing with each other. And this older gentleman said, "How long y'all been married?" And we were like, "We newlyweds," and like, "Sir, mind your business," because we were going in. He said, "Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all gonna be married a long time. It's a lot of passion right here, a lot of passion." And honestly, and I will never lie to anybody. My husband will tell you guys too. Dealing with me is a very difficult task, and he does maintain and has maintained for going on 20 years this year, Big Steve. But with that being said, it has been that. If I think about all of the trying times we've had, if I think about, my mother used to laugh at us because even in our arguments, we call each other boo. I'd be like, "Boo, let me tell you, boo, first of all, boo." And she's like, who does that? But it's funny because
Yeah,
think about
you
it.
good. I don't do boo. I have some other choice words, but we'll save that for.
After the show.
Look, we
Go
be
ahead,
mad,
boo.
though. Like, we are really mad,
Right.
but we always have done that through the years, and it's just funny that passion really is, still underlining. As furious sometimes as I know I make him and he makes me, that it's still there. It's still underlining. I definitely, he is funny to me. I don't think we just fit. We don't fit, but we fit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that everybody is interested. I think everybody that comes to your life is a way for you to look at yourself.
Amen. It is.
I really do.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing that we talked about, and Monica actually mentioned this earlier too, don't keep score.
Right.
We're not supposed to be keeping score on who did this, who did that. Number 5 says,
Absolutely.
don't zip your lips. And in this one it says, what's done is done. Talking about it isn't going to change what happened, but it can relieve the person of some of the suffering. By expressing it, it's not being withheld and turning into some kind of physical or, somatic problem. So Don't zip
Yeah,
your lips.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a vocal person. And so for me, I don't like to hold on to something. I want to go ahead and let's talk about it, get it on out the way,
Yes.
and let's move on. I
Yes.
don't want to go to bed and still mad at you
Mhm.
because I'm
Yes.
still swole. I want you to
Okay.
tell me what's going on, and I want us to talk about it so we
But
can go and move past that thing, because it makes no sense to me.
the only thing about that, the
Mhm.
only thing about that is what I found is
Mhm.
your timing
It not be they
doesn't have to
time.
be the right
That's right.
timing. Because just because you ready to
Right.
talk about it, sometimes we know that the tongue can be lethal.
Yes.
So sometimes you might want to say, you know what,
Mhm.
tomorrow
Mhm.
we're going to talk about this at Starbucks. So I won't be standing up in there acting a fool.
Mhm.
And we can actually get some communication going on
That's
and
right.
not be doing it in this house.
Yes.
I have found that sometimes everybody's timing ain't the right
That's
timing.
right.
Yes.
I was just
And
about to say
because
that.
again, I told you I had to go through some communication things with my husband. So I'm like you, A Love. I'm like, okay, no, we're gonna talk about this. And he said, I don't want to talk about it right now. Oh no, we're gonna talk. Oh, okay, see now, what
And you know,
what's
you
going
know what?
on really here?
I was
Okay,
just about to
so
say that,
now I'm
Monica.
even madder because you ain't
Yeah.
saying what I need you to say.
Exactly.
We on the same
Because
page,
you really
boo.
already told me I'm not ready to talk right now.
Look, now that's the hard part for me. You are absolutely right because I go through that in my relationship where he says I don't
Not
want to talk
now.
about it right
Right.
now. And in the beginning, I used to really kind of buck up at that because I'm just like, no, we're gonna talk about this. And as time has progressed, I've
Right.
learned that when he says it, then I give him that space he needs to process,
Mhm.
deal, chill, whatever it is he
Right.
needs to do. And then I know that when time is right, then he'll come back around and say whatever it is. But he need, and you know what? Sometimes, like you say, the timing of things we may not appreciate it, but really and truly, if it were to pop off when it came, when I'm pushing, it
Honey?
wouldn't have been what I wanted. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
It may have
Hello.
been some, it may have been a line
Right.
crossed that right
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you're going to
That
say
we
some
would still be
things.
together. Yeah.
Because you're going to say some things out of anger, out of hurt, or out of the heat of the moment or whatever,
Right.
like you said.
And
Yeah.
you know what? Your mind has a long memory of what's been said.
Yep.
Mhm.
You can remember. You may not
Oh,
remember what people
yeah.
do to you
Yes.
all the time, but you
Yes.
can
You
remember what
can't you
somebody
can't
say
take
from a
once it's
long
out.
time.
It's out.
And
Exactly.
you really
And you
cannot
can't
take
snatch
it
that thing back and be like, oops, that's not what I meant because see, that's what I heard and see, I'm not gonna forget that.
Right.
So you have to really be careful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a
Mhm.
lot of women have that
Mhm.
issue of trying to force the issue right now. No, we going to talk. We going to. Let it go. Let it
Mhm.
go, boo.
Let it go. And sometimes, like I said, you can let it go right now and then pick it back up in a couple of days when you have calmed down, thought about it or whatever. Because
Absolutely.
again, when you say things and you really didn't mean it, after it's said, it's done. That is a wound that will never heal.
That's right.
Certain things that can
You
be
already
said to
know
you,
we
and we
fin-
know
You already know we
that
finna
whole
bring that
little
thing up for the
nursery
next
rhyme
20
from
years.
years ago, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt
Yes.
me. That is a
Right.
lie.
Right.
I don't care who told it.
Right.
The thing about it is somebody, you could have been hit
Yep.
12 years ago and you may even still see the mark, but it doesn't hurt.
Yep.
You can think about something that somebody said to you 15 years ago and it feels like they just said it. That sting is
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Girl, it's some people who don't have a conversation now because of what was said years
Yep.
ago.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Well-
number 6 is, because I know time is winding down. Number 6, remember why you got married. Remember why you got married. What was it about this person that made you want to marry them? And that's what you have to go back to. Number 7, forget ifs and buts. You have to be tolerant and you have to be accepting. And then the final one, because I'll let you guys expound on each one, but I'll go ahead and tell you what they are. Number 8, final, cash in compliments. I just want to say real quick, I love when my husband tells me I'm beautiful. I know that we don't need validation, but to hear that from your spouse is so nice and refreshing. Just to and he told me, and this is so simple, but I was standing at the sink last night actually, and he said, "You are such a diva, baby." And I said, really? And I told him, and I laughed because I said, babe, out of my group, I'm the one that's the most ratchet. I'm saying, I'm not the one that's even the cutest. And he said, but this is what I'm telling him because in my mind, I'm not like a diva or whatever. But he said, no, baby, look at your beautiful nails. And I love what you have on today. You're so sexy to me. That made my year, Stevie.
High
Wow,
five, Steve.
there it is.
I'm gonna need some
That's
men to
right.
take some notes. I'm gonna need
Stevie
y'all
is
to get
doing
some.
it for the 20 years. We
That.
be married 20 years this year, and we done been through it all. Can't nobody tell me nothing about how hard marriage is. We have endured, and we've got through it,
That's
and
right.
we're still standing today. So
Awesome.
he making sure before May got me right. You hear me?
Yes.
I love that.
Good job,
Yay. I need some men to take some notes.
Yes, Steve is in the house. So I just want to thank him for that. That means so much when your husband compliments you.
It
It
does.
really
Even more
does.
so than
Absolutely.
another woman telling
It
you,
does.
when your man lets you know that he likes how you look, he likes what you have on,
Yes.
he likes how you smell, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
That stays with you much longer than somebody else telling
Anybody
you
else?
something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He see your hustle. He see your
Yeah.
grind. He see your work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes you feel appreciated,
Right.
and you want that, and you have to do that in return.
Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
really have to.
Because
do
you know what?
Absolutely.
It's so many people out here who's
Absolutely.
willing to do it.
Oh,
so
these
if you
chicks
don't
will.
do
Let me go ahead and help
yes,
them out.
yes.
It's a chick out there, especially in Atlanta, that will tell your husband all he want to hear. So you better get with it. Okay?
Girl, talk. Talk. You better
get
talk
with
about it, and they will
Yes.
fix some real meals, honey.
Let me
So
for
what
real.
I am, they ain't doing no microwavable
Right.
stuff. She might be bringing some crock pot roast beef. You better watch it. That's what I'm saying. And you better be cute too. You better
I'm
put on
telling
some
you.
lipstick and some tight panties sometime and some heels.
Yes.
And
No,
just
Monica,
that
you
be
can't be
it.
sitting around the house looking hit all the time.
You
You
know,
need to step it up.
I do want to talk about that one day. We can write that down as
Well,
like
and
a
I was
future
gonna
show
say that's a good
because
topic because some men don't like it and they prefer more natural. If I say whatever the preference.
They don't like what?
Like some men don't care for a woman that wears makeup and stuff. I've heard some men say that, but I'm saying then do what makes him happy. You know what I'm saying? If that's not his flavor, whatever his flavor is.
Yeah, I mean, if he got a problem with a little lip gloss and you want to put on some Carmex, whatever works whatever works for you, go ahead with that. If
That's right.
whatever.
I'm gonna need you.
If he don't want you to shave up under your arms and you want to go ahead and have that natural bush going on, braid it up and put a few beads on it. I don't know. Whatever works.
Monica.
That's whatever floats his boat, baby.
She said put some beads on it, baby.
No, I'm gonna need y'all to shave now. I think your husband wants you to be a little bit.
I'm just saying, everything ain't for everybody. I'm just saying.
You are right about that.
And everybody don't need to know but him. Keep it there. Keep it with him.
You know what?
All
As
right,
much
so-
as I hate to say this, we're out of time, you guys.
All
This
right.
has been another amazing show. I tell you, Monica, thank you so very much. The insight that you've given us,
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, it is going to bless marriages all over the world. We're reaching the world. We're going to rebuild families, and it starts with our ambassadors. And you were truly an ambassador, darling.
Give us your information, Monica, so I can reach you.
Yes, well, you can definitely follow me on Facebook under Monica G. Brown. You can also follow me under the Hot Wife, Hot Life, as well as Behind Closed Doors, Uncut on Facebook.
I love it.
And again, I just want you all to know, like you said, the last little keepsake, don't keep score. And it don't matter who shoots the winning shot. As long as the winning shot is made, all y'all are champions. So you trying to win. That's the end result is that we trying to win this thing at this game called life and marriage for our family. We want a championship. So I don't care how many shots you make, as long as we bring home.
And that's your hot wife tip of the day.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you can follow the Hot Wife Hot Life on Facebook under Hot Wife Hot Life. You can also get us on Instagram and Twitter at _HotWife-HotLife. And you can hit us up on our website, which is www.hotwife-hotlife.com.
All right, and before we go, we just want to say that 108 Praise Radio is truly about giving back and giving to the world. With that being said, we are launching an initiative called One and Done. We're very excited about this initiative. It is a way to raise money for our radio station to continue to reach the world, but on a much higher level. So we ask that you adhere to the flyers that you're going to be seeing saturated and listen to the commercials. We are definitely looking for your help, and part of the proceeds for raising the money that we need for radio station are going to go to our awesome nonprofit, Vets for Veterans, baby.
Yes.
We are going to take care of our veterans. So we are so
Amen.
excited about this initiative and what we're doing. And we got to reach everybody all over the world. And guess what? We call it One and Done because we're only asking for you to give what's on your heart. But the minimum is $1. I don't want to hear from nobody that ain't got no dollar, okay? I'm going to get $1 from everybody I know. Please believe that, okay? But please give what's on your heart because responsible media is so important today. Reaching the youth is so important today.
Right.
And just being
Mhm.
positive, we don't see that anymore. And when you have a network that believes in bringing people together and really going out to the masses and teaching them things, being positive, being motivated, being inspired, and being inspirational, it is truly something that we need to be doing. And we hope that everybody support us. Right, ladies?
That is
Absolutely.
so true.
Yes.
Amen.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, so we will see you guys next week. Listen,
Yay.
topic for next week. Are y'all ready? How to be submissive. Ooh, I know y'all hate the S word.
We're going to break that thing
Yeah,
down.
I know I won't be the guest ambassador this
said I
next
will
week,
not
y'all,
be.
but I will be tuned in.
Oh, Lord.
All right, look, help us out with this one. But listen, that is what we're going to be discussing. Hot Wife, Hot Life. Tune in next week. Monday
Yes.
Domination. We have closed out tonight.
All right.
All right.
Good
Bye.
night.